Hi everyone. So today's video is about foundation application. So what I think is the best way to apply your foundation. If you want it to last all day, you want to have a lovely coverage, but you don't want to look caked in makeup. I've been using this technique for years and I genuinely believe that it's a game changer if you find that your makeup slides throughout the day, or just that if you have a long day ahead, that if you're a kind of person who tends to pile on more foundation because you feel like that's going to last longer, then this video is definitely for you. So at the moment, I just have my moisturizer on, which is the Neostrata SPF 30, the Skin Matrix SPF 30, and I filled in my brows with our Easy Brow Pencil in the shade Brown. So I'll probably go over them a little again. I just wanted to have them done before I started, and that is all. My lips are a little bit red, but I don't want to put anything on them until we put our foundation on. So the foundation I'm going to use today is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, for no other reason other than I haven't worn it for a while and I just thought, why not? And it's the shade 4 Neutral that I am using. So I'm going to pop it on with our buffer brush. I always advise a buffer brush for your foundation because it's a really soft but dense synthetic brush, so it doesn't absorb products. So you're not going to waste foundation using a brush like this. Everything you put on the brush is going to go onto your face, but it gives a really gorgeous HD finish to your makeup. So often nowadays we don't use the flat foundations anymore, or brushes anymore, because they can show up lines on the skin of the makeup through HD cameras, because everything is getting so clear and you can just get away with nothing anymore. So that's why, you know, we stopped kind of use them in the makeup industry. But I think something like this allows you to use so much less product. It's so much quicker and it really will make a difference. I'm not a sponge fan. I think that they just absorb lots of product, and I do think that there's possibly, you know, a lot of yucky stuff in them as well. I'm just not a big fan. But anyway, get to it, Susie. So I'm going to put a little bit of the foundation, just a small amount, onto my brush and just tap it around my face to begin with. So this might look a little light for me at the minute, but it does oxidize, so that's why I'm going with it. I know it'll get darker. And I never ever go around the eyes. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing it into the skin. So really light, quick motions to push it in, rather than rubbing it around your face. If you push it in, this is why we call it a buffer brush, because you're buffing it into the skin and it really becomes like part of your skin. So the more you buff it, the better the coverage you'll get, but the more like your skin it becomes. So you won't have this really obvious layer of makeup on top of your skin. And I'm doing all of this in real time rather than editing the video, because I want you to see how long I would actually spend patting my foundation in. Like I would always say to people, if you are running late or anything like that in the morning, you just don't have a whole lot of time, do your face first. Get the base on and then you can do the eyes later, because the base is the part that you don't want to move. Like you want that sitting there all day and you want it perfect all day. Your eyes you can do again and they can do them quickly, but getting the base right it's like your skincare. You need to get the skin right for everything else to come together. But like, look how little I used and my skin is totally even now. There's total coverage on the skin. I don't need to put any more foundation on. Remember, with your foundation, its job is there to flatten out the skin, to give you a blank screen to work with. I'm going to throw on a little bit of lip gloss just while I talk so that I don't look completely anemic. But you can see obviously around my eyes now needs to be done. But just to show you that you can obviously build on that as well. But this for me is enough coverage for during the day and my skin looks nice and fresh still. But with foundation, yeah, its purpose is really just there to flatten out the skin. So it's just to give you a blank screen, and then you bring in the light and the shade with your concealers and your bronzers. And I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people tend to make, because we try and do everything with our foundation. So we're trying to cover, color, warm, you know, the whole shebang. Whereas that's not what its job is for. Its job is to even out the skin tone and to make everything flawless before you start. Not flawless, sorry, even before you start with your concealers. And I guarantee you will, like, look at the difference even the concealer now has made. It just sits in perfectly with my foundation, and I'm using our medium shade, sorry, of the Instant Dry Concealer. But it just clears out the skin completely. So you look completely like your skin is just perfect. But what was I saying there? Sorry. So yeah, sorry. The key is less products is more. If you have a really long day ahead, light layers, like layering really thinly and really working it into the skin, is going to do you so much more justice than putting on loads and hoping for the best and really pushing it into the skin, because like that, when you're tapping it in, remember that foundation is setting as it goes onto your skin. So when you push it in, you're buffing it into the skin and you're giving it time to set and settle. If you're constantly moving it around, it doesn't have time to settle. And then if you've done this swirly motion, a lot of the time if you have too much product on, you can have a little swirl, which then will set and become dry. And then you might notice during the day you've got these patches where it might look a little bit heavier. And that can either be down to dehydration, that the skin is kind of sucking it into one area, or it can be down to the fact that it's not buffed in properly and you've got too much product on one area of the face and now it's set and it looks like a little hill on your face, or a mountain, or whatever you want to say. Like, it's just uneven. Whereas this way you're going to get a really, really even finish. That's really flawless. Like, again, you saw in real time how little foundation was used, and then the little bit of concealer to really just make the skin lovely and fresh. So now I'll go and I will do my bronze and my blush and my eyes and everything off camera, but I hope that was helpful with the application. I am filming this week a full length of choosing the colours and the shades. That's going to be a longer one, but I thought I'd start with this just to show you how to pop it on, and hopefully you'll find it helpful.